I'm Brendan. Kelly. I play drums. He does this. Europe was great. Like all like the mainland European shows were awesome.
German ones were really cool.
Yeah, like the German ones are cool. I think that's mostly because we played there so many times. But like as soon as we hit the UK, the shows were just like awesome. Like, you know, the first show in Bristol was like, oh, that was the best show on tour so far. And then the next night it's like, oh no, that was the best show. Oh no, that tonight was the best show.
Last night was like Nottingham.
A new record will come out this year. I'm not entirely sure how much I can talk about right now. I'm sure that eventually there'll be an announcement and people will know a lot of new things.
It'll be around.
You're just playing a new song tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've been playing it for like, what, a week?
Yeah, about a week.
So,
yeah,
we got a good response with that.
Yeah,
everybody's
been
been
cool.
saying it's great. Yeah, it's cool. We were, you know what I mean? Like there was, okay, I'll say like we have a full length written, and you know, and we were sort of like trying to figure out like what song we were gonna like show everybody first, and we just had so many to choose from, so we like we went with the song called Burn. I would hope so. I mean, we're gonna be back in June for download and stuff like that, so I'm assuming that we would do some like smaller headline shows. The only thing is like obviously with radius clauses, and I don't know how many, you know, like we would love to play headliners. I just don't know if the people at download are going to be cool with it. But we were definitely surprised with, you know, when we were here with Your Demise, like the only other time we've been in the UK, and the reaction was really good, which is why it was so weird because we've been to Europe like since that tour. That was our second time in Europe, and since then we've come back like 4 times. So it's like, and every time we've just done Europe and kind of skipped out on the UK. And like I understand it's like I understand that for a lot of bands it's like a harder market to like break into. That's what I've heard. It's weird for us that when we came over, the only other time we've been here was awesome, and all these shows have been incredible too. So
it's kind of cool though, because like we were here in 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
And then so no one's seen us.
Yeah.
Since
so it was
the
like
difference between
a little bit of hype or whatever.
No one, you know.
So that helped them assuming.
Yeah, like last time we were here, we played Wither off of our last record, and it was like a brand new song, and that was the first time we played that song too.
It's always here.
You know, so it's something about the UK. Yeah, I mean, there's so many subtle things that you pick up on. Yeah, like just rules, like just rules of, you know, even like just the simplest things that, you know, when you're not touring full time, that like flies across your mind. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many like little things that you learn along the way. I don't think so, and I think with the new record, there's definitely more of that, because that's like my contribution to the band. You know what I mean? Like I don't really write any of the music, so my contribution to the band is just like it's just my lyrics and how, you know, and the only thing I've ever been able to write about is like real things that happen to me. So I think my writing's evolved over time to where it's not so like black and white. You know, I can like somewhat tell a story and like paint a bit of a picture for the listener, whereas I don't like, and there's still like what specifically that the song's about. But no, like honestly, there's never really been a time where I've thought like I can't write about that, especially with like I think that people will find once our new record's released and stuff like that, like the lyrics to that are about like, you know, a couple months of my life where it was just the worst, like it was just terrible, you know what I mean? And I feel like if I didn't have that, like if I didn't have a creative outlet in any way, I probably would have just shot myself. You know what I mean? So it's cool. Without the band, I don't think I would be as like a easygoing guy as I think I am. And I don't think I'd be able to make jokes, because I would just be caught up in my head and be like, well, I'm miserable. But you know, when we play and when we go on tour, I have like a sense of purpose, you know, because aside from this, like I don't do anything else, like this is my entire life. So when we get to go on tour, we get to especially do tours of like a caliber, like similar caliber to this. It's like, you know, it sort of makes me feel confident that like, hey, maybe like the day that I told my parents like, oh, I'm not going to college, or I'm gonna go like yell in a metalcore band, it's like it's like
Yeah.
that gives me hope. You know what I mean? Like it makes me think like, yeah, I might have made the right decision. So.
I feel like it'll change always.
Yeah.
Once you hit
It's always going to change.
But then there's more.
Like when we were starting out, it was like, our goal was to play a show outside of Hamilton, Ontario, and then it's like, then we play London a couple months in, and it's just like, oh, well, now we want to play a show out of province, now we want to play a show out of Canada, we want to play a show internationally, you know what I mean? Like, it just keeps, yeah, like as the band evolves, like there's obviously like different goals that come from it, and I think as long as if you're in a band, you're like, your goals are reasonable, you know what I mean, and you're not like like if you're content with setting a goal and completely botching it and like failing, I think you'll have a fairly easy time in being in a band, because literally anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like people's music taste changes, more than their clothes. It's so
You're like relying on other people to help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you're so like if people didn't like our band and we didn't sell T-shirts every night, like I would starve to death. You know what I mean? So it's like it's crazy putting that much faith in something. We'll be a band forever as long as it's going like this and it doesn't peak or drop off.
Yeah, and you live quite a spontaneous life. So how does that kind of put a strain on your own personal life?
It does. It's obviously hard to keep up relationships and stuff like that when you tour as much as we do.
I think we do it well though. We recognize when we need a month off or when we need time. You can't just
you hear so many stories about bands like touring for 5 months straight and they just like hate each other and break up. And it's been a conscious thing of mine to always make sure that we have maybe we'll go out for a little longer than usual, but then we have a month off, or then we need time off to like see our family and our dogs and our girlfriends, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that's how it goes. But yeah, it definitely it's not for everybody, and I think I think of all the friends I used to have and I don't talk to anymore because of this, and every romantic relationship I've had is like pretty much like touring has been a major part of the reason why I'm not with that person anymore. I get more sick. When I find when you're just sort of like when you get that dose of reality as to like, I forgot that it doesn't matter like how many records you sell, and like it doesn't matter like how big your band actually is. It's like it's only who you know and who you have working for you, and that's how you get like that's what decides the fate of your band. Yeah. And when I sort of get those doses of reality, it makes me want to it makes me wish hey, maybe having a desk job would be kind of cool.
But then touring balances.
Yeah, but then going on tour and seeing people legitimately just care, that's a really cool feeling. Honestly, I feel like people sort of have this idea in their head where like they think that the label
will talking about this earlier.
Like where a label people think that labels like do have a big deciding factor in what the band sounds like. I don't think that I can't imagine it would be like a label telling them you have to sound like this. It's probably like in their own mind being like, we're tired of playing.
Yeah, we've been a band for
we've been a band for
as an example
10 years, and maybe we don't want to play heavy music anymore. Maybe we want to try something else. Yeah. And that's inevitable with any any band ever.
Right? You hit a wall.
Yeah, of course.
In heavy music.
You know what I mean?
You kind of have to do something else, or else you're just always right.
And it takes a very special band to be on the same level as a band like On the Horizon, and being able to play some of the venues that they do and be as big as they are. You know what I mean? And I think that I don't think that has anything to do with a label. I think that's just a conscious decision on the band members being like, hey, let's write cool, let's be different and like make a cool record and see how it goes. And then obviously if it takes off, it takes off. And if not,
we've always kind of done whatever.
We're
felt like right.
Yeah, exactly. We write whatever we want. Like there's never been a time where anybody's told us like, hey, maybe like change your sound, or like maybe add some singing or something like that. That's never ever been like a thing with us. It's just like we don't even show people the music till it's done.
I really like playing Ghost.
Ghost is really cool. Yeah, playing Ghost is awesome. Yeah, it's like a personal song for me. It's like one of the most personal, so I like playing that song. Disconnect, obviously, because the ending, people go crazy, and it's always fun. It's always a cool gauge on how the show goes. You know what I mean? And then like we have those one per record like fast banger like Slave. And, we have like a song off of the new record.
We get to act like we're in like a cool grandpa. We get to pretend like we're we're a lot heavier than we actually are for a minute and a half. There's been so many times where we've like posted on Facebook like, hey, what songs you guys want to hear, and we'll like the last time we did it, Jesse literally tallied up what people wrote, and he's like, well, this many people wanted John Locke, so we're gonna play John Locke, and we did, and like no one cared. And we were just like, all right, you guys don't know what you want, so we're gonna do our own thing. Are just on the internet and they don't come to shows.
Those are they're the kids that post on Tumblr like, why doesn't Counterparts ever play like my hometown? It's like, oh well, we're playing there tonight. You just don't know because you don't actually actively seek out live music, and that's your own fault. So like, go on all in merch and reblog a GIF and contribute to music that way, as opposed to like coming out and supporting bands that are trying.
Well, that's hard because we like touring no matter if it's music-wise or not. We like we touring with like the people we like hanging out with, and I think we all really like.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like we're very like diverse in like what we're into between the five of us. But
Katy Perry.
I'm trying to think of bands that we all. I mean, like we did like Misery Signals on Malice 10 years ago, and that was like a dream. That's the record that we, that's like the record for all of us. So it's like that was cool. Touring with bands like Taken would be awesome. Poison the Wall tour.
Architects even.
The Architects is a big influence.
Yeah, they'd like probably be on it.
Same with Every Time I Die.
Every Time I Die too. Yeah.
So, I mean, Converge would be great. Who else?
Yeah, we're all like not as into heavy music as we was.
So what are your kind of guilty pleasures then?
I don't even really have guilty pleasures. Like I like the Katy Perry.
Yeah, I listen. I listen to Betty Who more than I listen to Grind.
I listen to like Ariana Grande when I'm actually though.
I've been listening to the 1975 self-titled since it came out, and I listen to it every single day, and I just like don't. You know what I mean? And if someone were to ask me, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, man, like, just well, what's cool? Metalcore's cool again. Sick. Like that's all I care about. It's like, no, like I like iTunes most played like Hard Out by the 1975.
Jimmy John's in America, maybe? I eat it a lot. Like, I go nutty on that. Also, Nando's is good.
Nando's
we all really like Nando's,
is really
that's
tight.
good.
There's one just over there.
I would like to go after.
I don't know if there's a restaurant, but like I could eat like Asian food for every single day of my life, like whether it's sushi or like whether it's like Japanese food like sushi or ramen or something, or like like a wok or Vietnamese, Thai, like any sort of Asian food. I could eat that every single day of my life. Honestly, like that's. If I get to do that at some point in my life, like I, like
that's when
if I live somewhere where I can wake up and be like, all right, I want sushi today, and then I want pad thai for dinner, and then tomorrow I'm gonna have anything, that's like I made it. I achieved what I set out to do with my life, and that's it.
I'd say probably we're all pretty Mexican too.
Mexican too. Like we're fond of because like being in Canada, like you can get Mexican food obviously, but when you compare the Mexican food that you get in Toronto to in San Diego, California, you know what I mean? It's like that's literally like you can like Mexico, it's right there. You know what I mean? So it's so
and literally like the sketchiest, smallest looking hole in the wall restaurants are like, you can throw a rock and be like, that place has Mexican food, let's go, and it's gonna be good. That's what kills me when you see these bigger bands and they have no like they connect with the people that care about them, but it's like, you know what I mean, like there's so little substance to like, you know, hey, thanks so much, Dayton, Ohio, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
if you make like a joke about the actual
just little things to let people know, like, hey, there's a reason why you follow us, like, and whether it's like we're funny guys or whether we like, you know, sort of show people like a behind the scenes sort of, you know, we're like a slideshow act or something, like a circus. But yeah, I hate the idea of like glorifying people in bands to where they're not human beings, you know what I mean? Like to where it's like they're like you know, they're more of a personality than a real person, you know, like, you know, yeah, exactly, yeah, like we're not the band that like hides in the green room and, you know, like no one can see us.